Good afternoon, everyone. We wanted to take this time this afternoon just to kind of touch base with what's been going on in the market over the last week. And by the market, I'm specifically referring to the stock market, not every aspect of the market. There are different moving parts of the market. And as you'll see in just a moment, I'm going to move through those. I put together a blog this morning and sent it out to our clients because I felt it was really important for them to understand what's transpired over the last week or so. As you can see by this chart, in the last week, we've seen some pretty significant declines in the Dow and the S&P 500. But you'll notice that we see an increase in the Barclays US bond aggregate. That's the bond side of the market. And that's why when I opened up, I said specifically I'm referring to the stock market. You'll also see on this chart where we've provided a blended 50-50 index of what the two aggregate between stocks and bonds would look like over the last week. We also thought it was important for you to take a step back and say, well, what does that look like year to date? And as you can see, year to date, there's been a negative return in the S&P and the Dow, but there's been a positive return in the bond aggregate market. And the blended portfolios are down, but not as down significantly as the Dow and S&P. And then taking a step back even further and looking at the 1 year, of all of the indexes that we put up on the screen, the only one that is negative as of this point last night was the Dow, and that was down about 0.84% for the year. It's critical that people understand that we're going to have hiccups like this in the market. And unless you're 100% in bonds, everybody's probably seeing a drop in their portfolio. We talk about diversification a lot when we're talking to our clients, and I think they have a general understanding of what that means, but it's markets like this that really bring to light how important it is to diversify a portfolio. If we look at the Dow being down and the S&P over 11%, almost 12, and at the time that this is being reported, probably over 12, you'll see that diversified portfolio was not down nearly as much. And even the year-to-date is more positive than those portfolios that were more aggressive. Now, that's not always going to be the case, and we can't certainly guarantee it at all. But we want you to understand that this is an opportunity for you to think about your portfolio and being diversified. We think that based on some of the things that have gone on in the past, like I would say shocks to the system, like when SARS or Ebola or the swine flu or H1N1 hit, those shocked the system too. Markets do not like uncertainty. They want to know what's going on. They don't like it. And when there is uncertainty in supply chain that could be disrupted or labor forces that could be disrupted, that causes the market to be very shaky. We believe the volatility will continue, and until uncertainty declines, we think that's going to keep up. But we also believe that now is not the time to jump out of the equity side of our portfolios. Just a few minutes ago, before I went live with this, the Fed said that they were committed to reviewing what was going on. In fact, I think the quote, if I remember it correctly, was that they say the coronavirus poses evolving risks, and they pledge to act as appropriate for the economy. We believe that that's what's going to happen. They may step in and lower interest rates or use the tools that are in their back pocket to spur the economy back. At this point, we understand how these swings may have caused you great anxiety, but we strongly believe in building portfolios that support your long-term goals, rebalancing occasionally, continuing to invest in dollar cost averaging for your IRAs and your 401ks and all your other savings methods, and leaning into corrections like this. They will give you opportunities that will benefit you in the long run. Certainly, if you have any questions or concerns, feel free to reach out to us. We hope that this gives you some insight to our perspective of what's going on in the market.